news, the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news, the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board. Breaking news, the markets are experiencing unprecedented volatility. A massive sell-off in early trading has triggered circuit breakers across the board.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Today we'll be just looking over Nasdaq, seeing what the chart has in store. I see that overnight we have ended up, of course, filling that gap last stream. We did get no confirmation. We had that little pullback onto the trend line. I ended stream yesterday, and then we rallied up into our monthly resistance zone, which is this yellow zone up here. So I'm just quickly going to annotate the chart a little bit for you guys so you can see more, know more of what's going on, and then we'll just patiently wait and see if anything unfolds. The market did just open about 22 minutes ago. I was struggling to get the live stream started. I had some technical issues on my side. However, as you can see with the market open on the current 15 or previous 15-minute candle, we did end up pushing up quite nicely, just holding with the trend, higher highs and higher lows being formed. Classic uptrend, nothing much to it. We do have a yellow daily zone, a resistance zone coming up, which I'm expecting us to pull into, so I'm just going to annotate that for the viewers. Daily resistance, sells below, buys above. So this is our closest higher time frame zone, since we are already within a monthly resistance. So we can expect some quite decent moves once we of course do break either above our orange zone or below. I'm just going to annotate over here as well that the orange is monthly resistance. Alright, so that's this whole block. It ends at the top of the highest most daily resistance. This is of course just the same thing within the zones, right? And then we do have our classic trend lines. And we are back. Apologies, I just received a phone call over there. As I was saying, I have annotated the chart a little bit more. We do have our counter trend lines running, or our trend line, sorry, that we are within. So we're staying within that range or that channel. We do have our monthly resistance, which we are expecting a massive move from later on, probably the end of the month or early next month. Will either close above or below this orange zone, and then I'm expecting a larger size move for the longer time frame. However, just for today, I'm not really expecting much to occur or happen. Just going to play some music on in the background and just chill, guys. If anyone has any questions, feel free to subscribe and drop something down below. I see we do have a couple people currently watching. Let us know where you are joining us from, guys. Where's everyone watching from? What pairs are you trading? Let me know. We do have some lower time frame support. We could possibly see something like this. A little pullback to that previous high, pull towards the support, and then a pull back up into, push back up into our daily resistance. That's what I'm expecting for price action to do today. Nothing special really. We do have a 5-minute support over here as well. Welcome to everyone watching. Currently on the Nasdaq or US 100 chart. We need that pull back into support for that push. Market keeps playing off of this 50-day moving average clearly. Doesn't really seem to want to come down much faster. Apologies for that. My whole screen just froze. Hopefully this stream is still good. Buyers push price up, sellers pushing it straight back down with that top wick, which is good. I'd like this 5-minute support to be tapped at minimum, if not this 15-minute, because the deeper pullback you get, the more continuation in the move you can get. So, I mean, it is Tuesday, it's not a Monday, so we could see a little bit more movement or a bigger size move in a shorter time span. So let's see. As I've mentioned, market playing off of that 50-day moving average, with the 1-minute support being formed right here, which we just retested. So we should be good to continue to the upside now, as long as we hold above 37 seconds. I am expecting the market to continue pushing up from here, as we have seemed to play it nicely off of that support. Let's just wait 20 more seconds for this candle to close. Let's see if Nasdaq is ready to continue pumping to the upside. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody watching. I'll be going live on Monday to Thursday. Now and then on a Friday I'll jump in maybe, but Fridays are trading days for me usually, so we'll be going live a lot more this year, showing you gents how we make money from the market live, and that it is not a facade, and you don't have to be a fraud like some of these other people out here. But with some consistency and education, you can definitely make some money from the markets online. Market pushing straight back down off onto that support area. Might get that pushback. Let's see. Into the support we go. Breaking below the previous support onto our, let me annotate, 5-minute support. As well as 50. Nice little bottom wick being formed, very close to tapping that 5-minute support zone. price seems to want to reverse from this level where we are currently at. Let's see if we can break above our counter trend, or whether we'll pull back into our support area now. As I mentioned, we are currently engulfing the previous one, pushed right over the trend line now into our 1 minute resistance. We do need a closure above here. A little break and retest would be nice. I'm going to push above, closure, retest back onto the zone, or possibly even trend line, for us to then continue pushing up towards our daily resistance. A retest of the trend line. Do we get a reverse now again? Flip. So that would have been your retest now, although we have not closed above our zone yet, so we need a closure above first. That retest the trend line beautifully now. And there's that push to the upside and a closure above. A little pullback. And I would be into the longs if it was a trading day for me, as I'm expecting the market now to just continue pushing to the upside towards our daily resistance all the way up here. Not much information to the left that we can refer to. It's pretty clean candlestick movement. It was just that straight drop we had. So as you can see, beautiful support found over here on the 50-day moving average on Nasdaq on the 1 minute time frame. So a continuation to the upside would be nice now. Of course, with us needing a closure above the highs on the left for a continuation. Box method's actually pretty nice and effective. I used to love using it as a beginner. You just draw out the resistance out to the left. Of course, if I go to the higher time frames, it would be better, but there's not much information I can use. Hence I use the 5 minute now. And then what I would do, I'll just turn this music down a little bit. What I would do is simply wait for a break above. Once we got that break above, wait for the retest patiently, and upon the retest you would then enter longing towards your next high on the left, right? If we don't get a closure above, we don't enter, because then we can expect a pullback into our 15-minute support, which is where we would then go long from.
Bring the beats with Premium. Download and bring your music anywhere.
There we get that nice push to the upside into our 5 minute resistance or highs on the left, as well as filling that 30-minute wick. Previous 30-minute candle, we formed that wick. And I see now that this is actually a 30-minute support, which is even better, as it's a higher time frame. However, I don't believe Nasdaq really going to get there unless we reject this resistance zone up here. Once it pumps, it's known for just continuing with that momentum. Unless, of course, there's a fundamental event or something like that that might affect it, of course. Quite slow volume, not as bad as Monday though. Little doji candle being formed. Can we get that flip and reverse to the upside now? Flip bullish. Can we close above our resistance is the question. And closure above, retest, bang. You don't want to enter on the break, because when you get that retest that comes right back down, I mean, you're in unnecessary drawdown, which is why I always let you gents know that patience is key, and always wait for that retest instead of just trying to force a trade or enter on the break. It also gives you that confirmation once you've closed above and you do retest onto your zone. So as you can see, we are having a little bit of a reversal now. Again, for those who might only be joining into the chat now, welcome. Nasdaq currently sitting at a high at a 5-minute resistance on the left, so I am expecting a continuation due to us forming higher highs and higher lows, bullish market structure, as well as respecting the 50-day moving average to continue pumping. So we're waiting for that closure above now on the 1 minute, and then a pull back or a retest into our 5-minute resistance or high on the left structure, and then on the retest you could look to go long towards your daily resistance, which is where I'm expecting the bigger move later on in the day or New York session to play out from. Previous 5-minute did, or 1 minute, sorry, did close within our 5-minute zone. However, with that nice little volume and push up, the next candlestick of course did open up and is currently bullish. There's 30 seconds still left on the clock for this 1 minute candle to close. It'd be nice if you could get a little closure now above the zone on this 1 minute candle that is currently moving. As the next couple of minutes we could then expect the pullback down for the long entry towards our daily resistance. Should get that pullback now. There we go, tapped onto our 5-minute resistance, and now we can expect a flip or a little push up. Bottom wick being formed, indicating buyers stepping into the market at this level. Might even close a little doji or within the zone with the next one, then getting that little push up is also possible. So we did close bullish on the previous 1 minute candlestick, and we did a retest off of our 5 minute zone as expected. However, we closed with a little bullish hammer candlestick, quite low volume, so I am expecting this current candlestick to push up, and we did engulf the previous one beautifully. So a little push to the upside would be quite nice. A little more aggressive one with the candlestick sizes increasing. This would indicate that volume is also stepping up. Would be quite nice. There's nothing wrong with the market coming back down into our support. There's another little fake out before it does give you that strong push. This does occur. I do recommend, of course, your stop loss being below this resistance zone and below these candlesticks. Always with a 1, 2, 3 risk to rewarded menu. Something like that is what I would look for. Another little beautiful retest off of our zone. It'd be nice to see a flip. Once again bullish. Very slow price action on the Monday. Still a couple news events that has to play out before I execute and trade, I would say, for the month. Next trade will definitely be taken live on YouTube, so ensure to like, comment and subscribe up for that live execution and live analysis, right? Very few in the industry that can do this over and over again, live in front of your face, to prove to you that they can actually read and understand what's going on the screen and on the charts in front of you. So that is why I thought I'd push and start going live more on YouTube specifically, growing some audience here around the world and showing the people that it is possible to not predict but read and react to the charts and what they are showing you on a daily basis, time after time after time again. We will be doing this. I will also be doing a giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, so feel free to comment down below what you think I should be giving away, whether it be some money for your live accounts, some funded accounts, and maybe some, I don't know, gear or tech. Let me know what you guys feel would be good to give away in the comment section down below. Beautiful push to the upside and reversal of our resistance, just as expected. That little double bottom being formed and the market moving nicely in our favor now. From here to there is about 154 pips, so it is quite a nice size move for those of you who are joining in on the live stream. I think it's quite a decent size move to catch for the day. Beautiful continuation to the upside again. We're just following the trend. Remember that the trend is your friend. You don't want to be trading against the trend. Alright? You'll be making it more difficult for yourself unnecessarily. The trend is king. Trend is always your friend. Always trade with the trend.
They don't teach you this at school, but the whole of growth conversations will. Engineer Your Life is one of South Africa's
Welcome, I see Jesse in the chat. Amazing, appreciate it. Appreciate you joining in and commenting on everything. See you commented on a couple, one or two of my live streams or shorts. Appreciate you being active and helping the channel grow. Welcome. Welcome, Jesse. Where are you joining from? Yes, Brazil. Welcome, Brazil in the house. I've been to Brazil myself actually. Went to Sao Paulo, it was quite beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Nice, free spirited, positive people. I did not go to the tourist capital of Rio, but I was in Sao Paulo. Quite beautiful. Welcome. Bom dia. A little bit of a slow price action, however market is moving in our favor, forming that higher highs and higher lows as market slowly creeps towards our daily resistance up on the left. Market beautifully playing out that three-step rule that I have mentioned in yesterday's stream as well, where we sort of move sideways over here, only these two candles really consolidating or ranging to the side. Then we have the manipulation or the fake out, and then finally our distribution. It seems as though we might get another little pullback here if we do close below our 1 minute support, which would then be the same thing playing out for a second time. However, volume doesn't seem to be the worst, so let's see what does end up occurring. Again, we have that accumulation or that range sideways, that manipulation then for the second phase or the fake out, and then the distribution again. So we had two retests of our resistance turn support level, and then we got that push up. The market clearly showing us that it is still favored to continue to the upside, and that buyers are still in control of this market, currently pushing it to the upside. Strong push up now. Of course, fundamentally, there we get that push. Fundamentally, the US Marines or Navy, I believe, is currently in control of blockading the Strait of Hormuz, as far as I'm concerned or aware of, and they have basically, I don't want to say taken control of, but due to them taking control of the situation or people feeling that way, and the propaganda seems to be working quite well, with Donald Trump also stating that they are coming to some sort of agreement or terms with Iran, whereas previously they were bashing each other online quite hard and not coming to any terms of agreement, is of course why we had a little rally to the upside as well. Fundamentally wise, we are seeing some hope or confidence with this not being so serious or not being dragged on for too long. At least that's what the charts are telling us, right? Not a lot of fear in the market, otherwise we would see a strong push to the downside now. We are still within a monthly resistance, this orange zone, so we can still pull back. Remember, sells below on the higher time frame, and then of course buys, strong long-term buys above our orange monthly resistance, right? Beautiful bullish market structure still playing out. Appreciate it, Jesse. Glad to hear that you are making some money in the chat. Please remember that this is not financial advice and that this is purely me documenting my own journey and reading Price Action Live stating what I personally see in the markets, right? I'm only human, everyone makes mistakes, no one's perfect. But you do not have to be taking trades or the same trades I take. You could purely be watching and supporting from a distance, so I truly appreciate it. Welcome to everyone watching. Hopefully you're having a successful, profitable week so far. For those who have traded or plan to trade, we are currently just on the Nasdaq or US 100 chart, QQQ it's also known as, or NQ, and we're just chilling. I did not execute this trade, however this is a trade or position or opportunity, I suppose. Position I saw that was possible if I was trading today. I did walk the chat through my thought process as well as the entry of it. So we are currently floating about 30 pips up in the profit. The height we are at 41 pips, 410 points, which is quite a decent sized move. From 5, 10, 15 minutes, market pretty much straight up, very minimal if any drawdown, very nice. If we zoom out, we can see we are basically in the middle of that range or that trend going to the upside, so we still have some quite nice room to the upside, and I see that the daily resistance does line up quite nicely with that counter trend, or that trend, sorry, going up there, so could possibly see a little bit of a rejection or pullback from that level. Of course, 5-minute support being right at entry. However, volume does seem to be quite strong, so if we do get a retest, I think we'd bounce straight back up, in my personal opinion, as buyers they keep taking control and holding control of this Nasdaq market currently. Appreciate everyone joining in. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I believe you only have to be subscribed for about a minute to join the chat, so join the chat, drop some stuff down below, let me know what you'll be looking at, what charts you'll be trading this month, this week. Excited to interact and hear back from you guys. Strong pushback up as expected. about a 47, 50 pip called live on stream. Can't fake this still live, baby. Let's see if we can get another little push to the upside. Although to be completely honest with you, 50 pips is more than enough. We don't really need much more than 50 pips. We are seeing what seems to be quite some nice volume. If we could continue flipping now to the upside off of this high on the left, I would recommend for those who are currently in the trade to let it continue running. You don't want to be closing your trades too early or unnecessarily, right? We do have our resistance all the way still up here, our daily resistance. So if you are in profits and you are happy though with the blue screens you are seeing, there's nothing wrong with taking your profit right now. Apologies for all the ads. I would personally still hold the trade just a little bit though, as we could expect a breakout anytime soon, as long as we of course close above the previous candle. So we are looking for a closure above there for a continued push to the upside. There we go. Straight back down. Wow. The top wick being fallen only 5 minutes. Have a retest back onto our entry zone possibly. Our 5-minute support. Strong push back down. We are within our 1-minute support now on the left. Can we see a reversal from here, or do we need to push all the way back down to our 5-minute support or entry Nasdaq? Nice little 50-point scalp you could have caught there. 50 pip, sorry. 46 pip, 48 pip. We are not in this trade live for those who might have just joined a little bit late. However, this position was called out live on the stream. If you reverse back or go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll see that I did call out for a pull or pump up into our daily resistance, again marked out on our yellow zone at the top. We did see a closure above our 5-minute resistance on the left and expected a retest where we looked for possible longs with a greater than a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, as that is part of our rules. And we have seen a setup currently playing out as we speak, with the high being over 50 pips in the profit. Currently, as I'm speaking, over 26-27 pips in the profit, expecting either a retest back, which we did get a pullback now, so after we reclaim the highs on the left here on the lower time frames, I'm definitely expecting and seeing a continued push up into our daily resistance up here. However, on the higher time frame, we did get, as you can see after market open, that strong bullish confirmation to the upside, with us continuing on with the bullish trend. Right, so I'm just going to leave this chart open in front of you, let it play out, and hope everyone has a lovely rest of your day. Ideally, I would like this current 15-minute candle to, of course, push up and close above the previous candle, as this would indicate that buyers are still dominant and within control, and that we can expect a continued push up into our daily resistance. Basics, basics, basics. looks like there's the push. We need a closure up above that resistance line I drew though. We have seemed to reject it with a little top wick. That little push we were waiting for. We need that closure above. Very important. Not a wick above, a closure above for that continuation to the upside. Else we can expect a little pullback onto our entry zone or support area, right? We need that closure above for that continuation to show us that buyers are still in control. As you can see, we have rejected it with the top wick. Hence we can most likely expect a pull back down into our support area. Buyers seem to be stepping in off this fair value gap imbalance level. Can we hold this area and reverse and flip up above our previous candle as well as our resistance line drawn? Let's see. Five-minute support also on top of our entry area, which is quite nice. So we can expect a retest there.
Whether you're relaxing at home or out and about.
Beautiful bullish price action. Back to the basics. Not crazy amount of volume this New York session as expected. However, market playing beautifully in our favor. Just like yesterday when we called that little retracement sell on the live stream. Go back and watch that if you haven't already. Again, we are back up into that 40 pip range. 43.5 pips if you look on the left side of over here. We have the 44.4 pips into the profit, or 444 points is the size or measurement that traders use to measure the size moves that they catch or call out, I suppose. I think it's a lot more important than money. It will also give you an idea of how long someone's in a trade, how long they've been holding it, the size moves they catch, what type of trader are they? Are they intraday trader, scalper, a swing trader, etc. So Jesse in the chat, I enjoy watching. Appreciate you joining in live, Jesse. Market seems to be rejecting that resistance we have drawn. What are we? 49.50 pips up. Very slow price action. I would put my stops in front of my trade position right now, going risk free. Right, that would also just protect me and my capital. Capital preservation is always king and key. Remember, with no capital you don't have any skin in the game. Capital is king and key. Protecting that is very important as a trader. I think we always just need to remind ourselves, rather secure a little bit of profit than try to be greedy and hold the trade for too long, or try to be too right and the market reverses and takes all your profit away, right? We did receive that pullback now, a little bit deeper than expected. It would be nice to see a recovery or reclaim of the highs on the left now for that continuation to the daily resistance as mentioned all stream long. Right, very slow price action. We're again just moving sideways, so I think I'm going to call that the stream, or the end of the stream for the day. Market went beautifully in our direction. Might not have happened as fast as I'd like, or continue for as far or high or as much as I'd like. However, we are right, and we don't get to dictate how much the market moves or when it moves, so I would recommend securing all the profits for the day. I'm going to call it a stream. I don't see much happening on the market today. It's already an hour and a half after New York session market open, so expecting some consolidation, a little pullback before a continuation then, or the next big move during New York session, or the next fundamental move. Right, so on that note, I hope everyone has a lovely rest of the week. Hope you're profitable. Thank you again for those who have joined into the stream, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.